Hey team, what's going on? Wednesday, the 1st of July, 2026. I am hopping on with a bag of nerves, actually. I feel really nervous. I've not been on here, I guess, on social media and shared a video or much at all for the last month. And there's a part of me that doesn't want to sit down here and talk, and I'll kind of share a little bit more on that in a second. But there is a part of me that life's kind of teaching me that I can't ignore. It's kind of nagging away at me, and it wants me to sit down and share what I've got to share. And the other part of me, it's really funny, I don't know if you guys ever have this, sometimes I feel like I'm maybe going insane, but there's this other part of me that's then going, like, sit down, write a plan, get pen and paper, get pen and paper and jot down what you're going to say and what you're going to talk about so people will watch it and so it's logical and so it makes sense. And I'm like, I'm just going to sit and I'm just going to talk and I'm going to trust that what needs to come out will come out and whoever needs to hear it will hear it. And we'll just go from there. Now, what I'd really appreciate would be if you could hit the thumbs up or like or just comment watching, because that'll just help everyone else in the group see it. And it'll bump it up the news feed. For some reason, the video won't show to everyone otherwise. That'd be amazing. I feel like this is going to be one of those heart on your sleeve type videos. So if you're expecting like rah-rah motivation, it's probably not going to be the one. And I guess where I'm going to start with this is the thing that's prompted me to talk about this is it's the 1st of July, right? We've literally got to the halfway point in 2026. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this year has flown. Like so much has happened. The time's passed so quick. Like, do any of you guys feel like that? Or just me? And there's so many things that I started the year with, so many ideas, ambitions, things that got me excited, goals, things I wanted to do, places I wanted to go. I guess who I wanted to be as well. And I kind of look and I'm like, shit, we're 6 months in. What the fuck's happened? If your kids are watching, this might not be the appropriate video. Who knows if any more F-bombs are going to come? But like I say, it's just an honest video. And it's really easy, I think, to get into that mindset of like, I've not done good enough. I've not gone far enough. I've not got the results I want. And I'm not happy with X. I'm not happy with Y. And what I've found myself doing is falling a little bit into that mindset, completely disregarding all of the good stuff that's happened, which we'll talk about in a sec as well, and just zoning straight in on the negatives. And what I've kind of been reflecting on is this idea of retreat. And it kind of got me thinking about the parents in the group, right? With the responsibility to look after your kids. And I was kind of thinking about like, some of the shit that I've had going on this year. Some of it from family. Some of it to do with my little Murphy as well. I'm sure I'll share that with the world at some point. Some of my own personal stuff, situations I've put myself in, that I've put other people in. And kind of just looking at it all. And on top of that, I've been doing a lot of inner work this last couple of months that's been really intense and really heavy since sort of April time. And I've just found myself not being able to like show up in the world as the Pete I usually show up as, with tons of energy and vibrant and positive and motivational, inspirational, all of that. I've just felt the weight of that. And I think hitting 10 years of Barnes the Bible in February, I felt the weight of what it's taken me and everyone involved, but my personal weight of bringing Barnsley Barbell through 10 years of journey. And I've just spent a lot of time reflecting, and I kind of think about the parents in the group who might have a shit day at work, or you've just been laid off, or you're having problems at home with your partner, the dog's just died, you know, your friend's just been given really bad news, you've just been given really bad news, whatever, and you want to go run and hide, run for the hills, hide under your duvet and not come out. But you can't do that because you have responsibilities. You've got a family to take care of. You've got kids to look after, right? It's not just you taking care of you. And I've been trying to give myself the grace of self-reflection and the inner work and the healing and all of that stuff. And as much as obviously I don't coach as much as I used to, you know, once upon a time I coached every single session on the timetable. I don't do as much of that now, as you guys know. But there is still a role that I play in steering the ship. And I'm finding this uncomfortable to talk about because I've realised after like 10 years, as much as I am the face of Barnsley Barbell, I actually sometimes find it difficult to actually stand here and go, hey, like, I run this place. I'm the captain of the ship. I'm the leader. I know a lot of you guys joke about like Pete's cult movement and Pete's the leader and stuff. And I kind of laugh along, and I kind of, you know, I know that I have the role of kind of running the place. But that's not natural to me. I'm not, like, that's uncomfortable at times. It's uncomfortable now to talk about it. So what I'm saying is, those of you that are parents, it's kind of like, you know, maybe you want to go and hide under the duvet, but you can't because you've got your kids to take care of. And I think with me, it's like I've taken time to sit back and reflect and work through stuff. But then I've also started to realize, hold up a sec, but you also have responsibility here. You've also got to show up. And I guess the point is, it's blending the grace to take time for yourself and not always give, and also uphold the role that you have. And I'm just being honest with you here. I've found that difficult. I found that really difficult when there's parts of your world that are just crumbling around you. And then you've got to show up and bring the you that everyone's used to, if you know what I mean. And that's been hard. And I guess the part of me wants to express that because that's a weight off my shoulder to say that. Rather than just hiding away, or rather than what I've done in the past so many times is just to put the mask on. Is to be absolutely crumbling in reality and in life, but then head out the door, put the mask on and put a smile on my face and go like, hey, everything's okay, and pretend it's not happening. And this is new for me, I think. Again, this is why there's resistance. Because a part of me is kind of like, okay, I share this. And, you know, do then people start to notice and go, oh, yeah, that's why he seemed off. Or like, oh, okay, he's talked about this change. Oh, let's see what changes come. But that's not on me to worry about. What I'm learning is the message wants to just come through, and I'm kind of just letting it come through, and I'm just kind of going with the flow. And I guess the lesson I'm getting now in real time is that just sharing it feels better. Because I often do feel a pressure to show up and perform. From the work that I've uncovered, I have performed a lot in my life. I performed as a child for love. And when I say that, that's no shade on the people that loved me as a child. It's just how I learned love, to perform, to be, to act in a way where I say like, hey, look, like, hey, I am worthy of love. Hey, like if I do these things, if I perform, if I put on a show, will you love me? And, that maybe some of you resonate with that, but that follows through to adult life. And there's a part of me that's done with that. That's done with the part where I have to show up with a mask. There's the part of me that's done with pretending things are okay when it's not. and at the same time balancing the role of responsibility and showing up. You know, let's be honest, if you work front of house at a restaurant and you show up with all your emotions and your traumas and your whatever you've covered in your therapy session, and you show up with that energy, of course it's going to impact the people you're around in your job and everything. But for me, I've gone from kind of like feeling like this and then pretending everything's okay and showing up like that, and now I'm trying to find a middle ground. You know, when not everything's kind of, you know, out there and blubbered out, but at the same time, it's not shut down completely. And I'm allowing myself to kind of feel the feelings. And I think as well, you know, there is a part of me now that's kind of talking away, going like, oh, this has just become a self-therapy session. That's one of the things I love about this space is the fact that I feel safe enough to share this. But the perfectionist in me has been looking over the year and gone, you didn't achieve this and you didn't do that and you're taking forever to do this and you've got all these loose ends. And I can't tell you how many things that I want to do and bring to Barnsley Barbell and the place that I want to take it from and make it into. But I have just felt so exhausted by life, I haven't been able to do that. So if at any point you felt that you haven't got what you needed or signed up for, or the support that you felt is what this place is about, or you didn't feel me or my presence, or you've just noticed an absence, then I'm sorry that that's been the case. And I mean that. And I'm sorry it's taken till now to address it and talk about it. But this is me owning that, because if I own it, I can stand in my power and say, okay, hey, like, this is the thing that I've been wanting to work on and I've not been able to work on it. Hey, this is the experience I want you to have at Barnsley Barbell and I've not been able to give you it. This is the support that I want you to have and you've not had it. And I feel inside like I've let everyone down and I've let myself down, because I've got all these things that I want to bring to the table that I'm not bringing. I've got all these open loops that are just taking so much of my energy that I'm now starting to close, that are all of a sudden going to start to allow shifts to happen. But the perfectionist in me wants to beat me down and go, you should have had this handled by now. You should have had this done by now. And I tell you guys every day, I bang on the drum about asking for help. Ask for help, ask for help, ask for help. And who is probably one of the worst people for asking for help? Me. I'll put both hands up. And I am learning to ask for help. I'm learning to not only ask for it, but receive help. And maybe some of you resonate with that. You find yourself able to give help and assist and support, but when it comes to you getting help, that's harder to ask for. And now I'm learning. I'm asking for help. I am sitting in the discomfort. It's really uncomfortable for me to receive help. But I'm starting to learn to receive. And I'm finding that when help comes, life is better. And I'm starting to close the loops. And you guys will see in the gym the changes that are happening. And on my side, I'm like, a lot of this should have happened a long time before now. But maybe on your side, you'll just be like, oh, cool, this has happened. And oh, cool, that's happened. But there's a standard that I want to bring and a level of change I want to create, an improvement I want to bring that I haven't been able to bring. This is also not a video of me kind of promising like a big 180 and everything's going to change overnight. But you will see over the coming, I guess, weeks and months, these changes in motion. But I'm saying this out loud, selfishly for me, just to kind of give myself the grace of, okay, yeah, we wanted to do it sooner, but it's still going to get done. You guys might have seen The Office. Progress has been made. It's not done yet, but it will get tidied. It will get sorted. The changing rooms, they're almost done now. So many other things that you will start to see unfold. And the last thing before I kind of flip it over to you guys, because this video is not just about me and my stuff, it's for you as well. And hopefully, you're taking something from it anyway, but I saw the 1st of July as a real nice time to hit the reset button. Or more, maybe not even a reset, but to use the first 6 months of the year as learning curves, as a foundation, as an understanding of what I'd like to change, how different I would like my life to be. And just a real pivotal moment to just ask the question of, what do I want the next 6 months to look like? Who do I want to show up as? How do I want to reach the end of the year? Because if I look back to the start of January, there's so many things that I thought I'd have achieved by now. There's so many situations I thought would have happened and wouldn't have happened. And, you know, I look at even the physical side. I got into a real good place with training, and I was strength training, and I was building some strength that I've not felt for years. And I was starting to rebuild an endurance after my injury at the end of last year, and some other little challenges at the start of the year. And I was like, I'm starting to get in flow. And I did the Deadly Dozen, and I did the High Rocks in Malaga. And I was like, okay, we're getting there now. And then I felt like life derailed me, let's say. I had, you know, other things take priority, and sat here on like the end of June going, what the fuck happened? And maybe you've got the same. Maybe you've lost weight and then gained it back. Maybe you were flying with certain habits and then you've completely gone off it. Maybe work was going really good and now it's not. Maybe whatever it is, I'm sure every single one of us will have something here where it's like, you expected this to happen and here's where you are. And I just think the 1st of July is such an important moment to just pause and reflect. And a part of me didn't want to share this because I've kind of created my own little plan, my own little focus of what I want out of the rest of the year and who I want to become and what I want to create and what I want to achieve. And a part of me just wants to keep that hidden, because how many times have we all told the world what we want to do and then we don't do it? And if you do that enough times, you can start to almost expect. It's almost a little bit like, and this is my own shit, by the way, but it's almost like you can tell the world enough times and you tell them again, and then it's almost like everyone sits there and goes, okay, yeah, he's full of shit. He's said this a million times. She's full of rubbish. She's said a million times she's going to lose the weight. She's going to do this. She's going to achieve that. And a part of me wants it to be something that I just work on and then the world gets to see the fruits of my labor. Part of me wants it to be a secret mission where I go away and I work on myself. And slowly but surely, it starts to be shown in the physical world, the changes that have happened. A conversation with someone and they just notice a difference. You know, training and you go, oh my God, I'm lifting so much heavier now. You go on a run and you get a personal best. And then I realized that part of my role here is, and part of that leader that I am, again, very uncomfortable to say it, is to share that, is to inspire change in you, is to make you stop and think, is for me to say, hey, I'm going to go first. You know, imagine we're heading into battle. I'm going to lead us into battle. So the part of me that doesn't want to share it, I've ignored that part and listened to the truth in me that's like, get this out there. Because if one of you hears this and you're like, I resonate with this, I want a fresh start, I want a new beginning, I want to achieve all the things I set out to in the year, then I've done the thing that I feel I'm put on earth to do, which is inspire, which is to motivate, which is to help you see your truest potential, what you're capable of, what you can bring to the world, you know, how you can live in the most beautiful, truest, you know, freest expression of yourself. So I guess the final bit of this video here is to ask you to reflect on where you started this year. What did you want to do? What did you want to achieve? Who did you want to become? How did you want to show up? What sort of habits did you want to get rid of? What sort of habits did you want to grow into and make a foundation of who you are? And then how much of that has happened? How much of it hasn't happened? But when I started to mentally go, I didn't do this, and then that happened, and then what about this, and then this, and this, and this, yeah, the negatives are there, but then I was like, but what positives happened? And I'm like, holy shit, but look at all this other stuff. And the way I always say this is, so many of us, we go through life where on a random Wednesday, like, you have the most incredible, amazing experience with your kids for whatever reason. They kind of shock you or they put you in a state of awe. Maybe you see an amazing sunrise before work. Maybe you get to work and your boss tells you how much of an incredible job you're doing, or you get a bonus, or something good happens. But then later on in the day, you spill coffee down your dress and you're driving home and you get stuck in traffic and you argue with your partner when you get home and you get to the end of the day and you're like, it's been a shit day. And all we've done is focused on the negative and none of the positive. And my question to you is, are you doing any of that right now when you look back over the start of this year, like I started this video with? Looking back and going, I didn't achieve this and I didn't do that and I made progress and I lost it and I went on a streak and I ruined it and I did X and then Y happened. Because that's where I started my train of thought, and then I started to meander into, oh my God, I did the Deadly Dozen, I did High Rocks. Look at this course I signed up for, look at this work that I did. Look at A, B, C, D, and then I start to just tilt my vision and change my perspective and just say, okay, yeah, I recognize those things, but what good stuff has happened? What positives have happened? And what that allows you to do is it allows you to shift the way that you see this year. Because I'm going to guarantee in a couple of months' time, so many people are going to say 2026, it's just not my year. If people aren't saying it already. Now, wherever your goals are, wherever you want to achieve, the next 6 months is more than enough time. I think it's Parkinson's law that says you will expand the task to the time given. So if you give yourself 12 months to get into the best shape of your life, or be ready for a High Rocks, or lose 5 stone, or, pardon me, whatever, you've now got 6 months. You've now got half the time. But when you condense effort and you constrict time, magic can happen. So I invite you to step into this second half of the year with the sort of optimism that says, I will achieve everything I set out to do this year and more. You've got less time to play around now. You can put game face on. You can turn it up a notch. You can really dial in and lock in. And my invitation to you as well is to consider, where could you be in 6 months if you took care of the 1, 2, maybe 3 things that you keep putting off doing? What you will know, the 1 to 3 things that are holding you back the most right now. Maybe you've still not got a handle on your food and you really need to nail down your meal prep. Maybe you know that if you just take care of the weekends, you like a drink on Saturday, but Sunday you're hungover and you ruin your progress. If you just take care of Sunday, what will happen? Maybe you've always wanted to run a 5K or a 10K and you've put off starting running. What if you just started running now? Starting today, tomorrow, and just locked it and just committed yourself for 6 months. And I say all that because that's what I'm working through. I'm like, okay, let's draw a line in the sand. Let's take the lessons, the wins, the positives, everything from the start of the year, and now say, okay, how do I want the rest of the year to look? It's very hard to move forward in life if you are constantly looking through the rear view mirror. And what I'm learning is that it's okay to show up in the world not perfect. It's okay to get it wrong. It's okay if you've spent 6 months of this year and it's been an absolute disaster, car crash over 6 months. That's fine. Give yourself the permission to step forward and screw up some more and mess up some more. Like, one thing I'm starting to learn is that I think we put ourselves in such a tight box, or we just really constrict ourselves because of fear of failure, of fear of messing up, of fear of not getting it perfect. Or maybe that's just me, but that's what I'm starting to learn. It's like, okay, life is messy. But can I show up with that? Can I show up and be willing to make mistakes and then own them and take responsibility for them and learn from them and then move forward? And that's why shit takes so long for me, because I'm trying to do it perfectly. Maybe it's the same for you. Maybe it's like you just need to relax a little. So I'm just going to sit with myself a second. If you've got any reflections, feel free to drop a comment below. If you feel like you're ready for a reset, go for it. Let us know. There are some exciting changes following. I'm not going to give it the whole rah-rah like speech. I am feeling my energy shifting, and I am stepping more into the excitement of change and the excitement of things adjusting and moving to a different place. But I'm looking forward to continuing to refine the vision and then slowly bringing it out into the world. And I've been enjoying the changes I've seen, even just this last couple of weeks. The changing rooms coming together, making decisions around what we're doing with certain aspects of the gym, space in the gym, kit in the gym, investments that we're going to make in the space, the events that we're putting together for the rest of the year. And just all of those extra little bits to really pull us together as a community, to do good in the world, to show up and be in an environment that is the way that I know it can be. And that's not saying it's not great now. It already is great. It's me saying, let's start to make it even better. So, yeah, I feel complete. I feel like I've shared what needed to be shared. Couple of closing notes. Firstly, I'm really grateful if you've watched this video. I can't see who's watched it. I'll never be able to see unless you guys comment or you like it. And even then, I don't know. But I know that I actually turned off comments as well because I just wanted to be fully in the feeling instead of getting lost in the comments. So if you've commented, I'll maybe check that in a second. But I do know that 3, 4, 5, 6 of you stayed throughout the whole thing. I'm really grateful for that, because although I can't see you, knowing that 3 people are witnessing me experiencing what I'm experiencing and feeling what I'm feeling and then expressing that is really powerful. And I mean it when I say I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful to every single one of you that are here, part of this incredible community that we have at Barnsley Barbell. I think as I've taken a step back, I haven't felt as in it lately, and I think I've actually needed to be not out of it, but on the edges a little bit more, just to see the magic that happens. I mean, away at the weekend, I come back to, just floods of messages in the chat, seeing you guys achieve incredible things at the weekend, the 10Ks, the Ultra Warriors, and everything in between, everything in between, the Total Warriors, the hikes, the run, everything. And I think it often feels like coming back home is the way to explain it. It's kind of like stepping back in to feel the magic. And it's been 10 years of Barnsley Barbell, and I sometimes don't appreciate how far it's come, how far we've come as a place. I look back to where the first 6, 7 years were, and I look to now, and it's just insane. But one of the things that I feel has grown the most over time, beyond the space and the kit and all of that, is you guys. the people we attract, the feeling that you get when you walk in the room. We've got a lot of lovely people on the 6-week challenge right now. I was looking in the ladies chat earlier, and all the girls are saying, like, I've come down, it's been my first session, I was so nervous, and I just felt so at ease walking in the gym. And that's the place that I always wanted to build, is a place where you can show up and be yourself. And I guess it kind of comes full circle that I get to sit here and be myself with you and share this. And that's really magical. So I'm really grateful we have that. And if you have noticed my absence or a lack of my full presence, I appreciate you for sticking by. I'm kind of learning that you don't always have to be fully on it and in it and bringing you 100% for people to still care and for people to still be there to support you. You know, one of my kind of deep wounds or truths is kind of like, you know, around people leaving me. And to be able to ride everything that's been going on for me this year, and the parts of me that have felt that I've not been fully in it and fully, you know, with you all at times, but that the support's still there, the appreciation's still there, the effort that you bring is all still there. I don't know, it starts to rewrite the story that you have inside of you. You're like, oh, okay, I can show up imperfect and people stick around. and that sounds so like normal. I guess when you say it out loud, it's like, yeah, that's how humans work, Pete. No one's perfect. And yeah, people don't just run away when you all of a sudden aren't putting on a show or, you know, being the person that, you know, everyone's used to you showing up as. It's like, oh, okay. It's just the inner expectation that I put on myself, that I'm like, oh, if I don't show up with this energy, and if I don't show up and give this help and this support, then people will leave. And that is not a reflection on any of you here. That is just a reflection on me and the stuff that I'm learning and rewiring. It's like, oh, like people stick around. People care. People don't expect you to always bring it when you're not feeling it. And that's the truth. I haven't been feeling it. And for the first time in my life, I haven't brought it. There's been many times where I've jumped on and maybe done a Q&A or a live video or a reel and just forced. And then sometimes I'm like, maybe people just see through that anyway. But at this point, I've just honored the part of me that's gone, hey, we're not willing to do that anymore. That shit's exhausting. Putting on the mask and wearing it is tiring. And when you wear a mask so much, sometimes you forget to take it back off. You go to sleep with it on. You live in it. And I guess over the years, that's the thing that those closest to me have seen. They've been like, don't talk to me like you're at work. Don't bring Coach Pete into this conversation. And I'm like, what do you mean? This is just who I am. They're like, no, you're trying to coach me, or, you know, you're having this conversation as if you're at work. Like, I want Pete. And it's like, holy shit. So I guess the idea is to just be more, you know, authentic and bring the realness. And at the same time, as I started this video, but also hold the responsibility and do what's required. Can't just go and live under a rock and disappear. There's a balance between doing the work on yourself and being there and holding the role and responsibility that you have. And I say when I do these videos, I can only see myself. So it's like I am literally talking to myself. So I feel like that is it. I don't know how long we've been going. But thank you so much for coming along for the ride. And if this did help or touch you in any way, feel free to send me a message on WhatsApp and let me know. The last thing I want to say, and anyway, the last thing that I want to say is that I am okay. I just want to put that in black and white, because I have shared little bits in the past, and then I've had kind of people come up and be like, shit, is like everything all right? Are you all good? It's like, yes, I am. This is, you know, just me bringing maybe a different depth of honesty or a different depth of realness. But at the same time, kind of saying like, I'm good. I'm working through a lot, but I'm here and I'm good and I'm navigating this space. And all I guess I ask is that I'm asking more grace of myself instead of just like beating myself with a stick. And there's a part of me afraid to say, I ask you guys for the same grace if you find that I'm not bringing what you would usually expect me to bring. Now, I'm all for you holding me accountable. If you say, hey, Pete, I signed up for this and I've paid for this and I'm not getting it, bring it. But if you're like, hey, Pete, you know, usually you have this energy, and I'm just openly saying that I'm not going to be bringing it every day. And with time, that will change. It's not like the last thing I'll say is, it's not like the Pete that brings the energy and the motivation and inspiration to the videos is like the mask that's fake. Like, that's the real me. When I get excited on a video and I am flowing and that energy and passion's coming through, that is real. That is me. But it's also the days where that isn't there and it's forced that I'm doing less of. So when you do see the fire and the flame and the emotion and the passion come through, it's going to be because that's what's real and true. And, you know, when you come to my sessions, I'm not going to walk in and go, oh, you know, let's get on with it, guys. You know, I mean, maybe some of you are sat there watching and going, I have noticed in the last few sessions. I'd like to think not. I like to think that I kind of center myself when I come to sessions. Like, I came and coached the session earlier and I just brought me. You know, I didn't have to have 5 minutes of deep breathing and meditating before I came to class. It was just like, I just came in the room and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. And some days, you know, maybe you guys will be like, oh, Pete's not being quite right there. And other days you might be like, oh. But that's not on me to think about me. I'm just going to show up as me. So anyway, I don't know where that's going. Again, I think that's probably more for me than anything. But I see over the kind of coming weeks and months, the energy shifting. I'm just allowing myself to just not. Usually what it is it's like emotions come, shit happens, and then I try and like force, quick move, get back to work, don't allow the feelings. And instead it's like, oh, I'm just allowing myself to be with all the stuff happening in my life and what's going on, and not moving it on. And at the same time holding the responsibility, at the same time doing the video, but at the same time honoring the part of me that wants to feel all the shit that I'm feeling, instead of trying to solve it, fix it, change it, get rid of it. Instead, it's like, oh, okay, let's give it more space. And that might mean I can't do a video today, and that's okay. That was the point I guess I was making. Cool. I said that was me complete about 20 minutes ago, but that does feel like the end. So I'm going to flick over. If there's any comments, then we'll check them out. If you got this far, you're incredible. I appreciate you so much. If you didn't get this far and you watched some of it, still appreciate you coming on and checking this out. And just grateful to be here. Right, cool. No comments, at least not showing on my side. Amazing. All right, so what's next? Let's finish on a what's next. Reflect on the possibilities of what 2026 could hold for you. It's the 1st of July. 6 months will be the 1st of January 2027. Who do you want to step into? Or who do you want to show up as? Who do you want to see in the mirror at the end of the year? What do you want to have achieved? How do you want to feel? What do you want to have done? What experiences do you want to have had? Who do you want to have spent time with? What's the things that are scaring you right now that you're putting off, that you know if you faced and overcome, you would feel incredible, that your confidence would be through the roof, that you'd feel limitless? And what goodness has happened already this year? What are you proud of yourself so far for achieving, for facing, for moving through, for battling through, for persisting with? What are you already proud of yourself for this year? What good things have happened? Could they have been better? Maybe. Could they have gone better? Possibly. But what are you proud of yourself for? What positives do you have? What wins are in the bag already? And looking at that will allow you to use them as fuel and build off of them to create the confidence needed to take the next steps. We're going to have a challenge at the end of summer. We may do something before then. We're going to have the Barnsley Barbell to 5K. We're going to have a day where we do the 5K together. We've got Tough Mudder in 3 weeks' time. That's going to be incredible. 150 of us taking over Tough Mudder at Skipton, Yorkshire. And some socials. We've got the wonderful Mark Miller organising the Aqua Park for the 8th of August. We're going to do a Ninja Warrior in November. Halloween, October. So it's going to be a stacked rest of the year. Don't feel the pressure to try and make it all, but I'm really excited to see what we all bring to the table personally over the next 6 months, and where Barnsley Barbell and all of us here in this community go over the 6 months and where we are come the end of the year. So let's wrap up there. Grateful to every single one of you for being here. And yeah, just making this place that we have such an amazing, special place. That is the thing that keeps coming up time and time and time again, is just building more of what we have. Just expanding on the feeling of being part of Barnsley Barbell. Cool. All right. Have an incredible rest of your day, whenever it is that you watch this. And I will no doubt catch you in another video sometime soon. See you then.